Hey there. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm hoping you get what you want from this and take it away. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today, so you'll have to forgive me. Based on the journaling that I talked about in the last video, I really just realized how much work I had to do on myself and my relationship with me. I realized that self inflicted sense of responsibility, along with all that giving to other people at my own self sacrifice, all those boulders that I was taking home, meant that I just needed to work on my self worth. So I did some additional automatic journaling about how I really felt about myself. Some themes that came out was that me helping others literally just distracted me from dealing with my own, as I call it, ish or mud without realizing it. It just made it super easy to deal with other people's issues and ish instead of my own. And the hardest realization that came out is just like a drug, helping them gave me a hit of self worth that was temporary. I deep down created all of that giving, and I really felt like I just didn't love myself or give myself any power or credit. It was just so much easier to help someone else feel better or make their lives better, and instead of dealing with my own shit or ish. I'd also identified another layer of my emotional onion, or a part of it. I kind of compare this to an onion. I keep on peeling layers and I find more and more. I was moving from devastated and crying every day about my broken heart and to pissed and really angry at Hottie. I had hit the anger stage of loss and I was really, really angry, which is so unlike me, and just needed to release it. I journaled on the anger, and after a lot of journaling and self reflection, I realized I was just mad at myself. I took on way more than I should have. He was honest from the beginning, and I just treated myself like a doormat. He didn't treat me like a doormat. I let myself be treated like a doormat. I really wrote and focused on forgiving myself, said thank you for the lessons on love, and said goodbye to Hottie. I really, really needed to focus more on loving every piece of me so I didn't continue to get into these situations and really let myself be a doormat. I'd identified that I'd struggled with loving the body I was in my entire life, and I was determined to tackle that. It was my biggest, well, one of my biggest boulders. My entire life, I had struggled with my weight. While other people talked about gaining 5 pounds or 2 pounds, it was nothing for me to bounce back and forth among 5 sizes. And while this sounds super weird, my friends constantly tease me about how little I eat, and I think I've been literally on a diet my entire life. I realized in my journaling that my outside was truly a reflected of how I was feeling about myself inside. Now, if I had known this 20 years ago, it would have been way easier. I had spent my whole life being self-conscious about my body. Even playing sports, even as a very active kid, it was always there in every outfit, every day, every action of every day. I was constantly aware of it with every single thing I did. And I was frankly just done with that. I needed to learn how to love each and every piece of me. And I needed to be grateful, somehow, for every single piece of me. It was way overdue. Thighs and all. Thighs and all. I was determined to solve it for once and for all. I was so sick and tired of feeling that way about myself. I was so sick and tired of thinking about it. And so what I did was I visualized every single piece of my body. I was out at my ocean again. Great place to visualize. And I visualized thanking each piece of my body, my ear, my nose, my thighs, my ass, whatever, and its utilitarian function. My feet, what I mean by utilitarian, thank you for, making it so I can walk. Thank you for carrying me. My ears, thank you for allowing me to hear. And just change the I don't know what the right word is, kind of changed what I thought and about my body with its utilitarian function. And love with my heart space, and just took every piece of it step by step. And then after I was done, and I took my time with it and felt ridiculous, and then actually felt much better. It was a new way to think about my body. I loved every piece of it. I visualized giving my inner child love. I addressed why I felt like an outcast all the time. My family always asked me, like, why do you have to be different? They always thought I was pretty weird, I think. I just sat there and visualized giving myself unconditional love. The true answer was, I just was different. I just thought different. I just wasn't trying to be different. I was just trying to be who I was. I just literally embraced every single piece of who I was, from my toes to my brain, both who I was externally and who I'd grown to be as a person. I just plain embraced the fuck out of myself for the first time in my life. The very first time in my life. And as I stood up, I can't even tell you how free I felt, how light I felt, how new I felt. I got up and went into the ocean for sort of a regeneration, healing, baptism, sort of for my new me, whatever you think about it, whatever you want to call it, and had so much gratitude for finally dealing with that big fat boulder that affected so much of my life. And as I hiked home, because the ocean, you have to go through the jungle on the way back. Great way to travel. As I hiked home from such a pivotal experience that I just put myself through, as usual, nature came through for me. I saw 12 monkeys playing on the trees. Now, they were playing like crazy. Now, here's the thing. Where I go in Costa Rica, it definitely has tons of nature and tons of monkeys, but I'd never seen 12 causing shenanigans all over the place. And I knew immediately that it was like the universe's way of patting me on the back and being like, hey, Mother Earth's giving me love through my favorite animals. It was just incredible. For any of you struggling with body issues, with your own self-love, with your own weight, I see you. I feel you. I'm sending so much love and hope that you can find your own way to renewal. Until next time. See ya.